All right, let's get into this movie.
Oh, boy.
Want to start with impressions?
Sure.
I already did. I did a sick David Spade earlier.
Okay. Well, all right, it took me a second. But I guess I'll start because you're over here being King Clown. You're like, oh, I'm gonna my podcast now. Whatever. I thought this movie was all right. I felt that given what it was very well executed. It looks gorgeous, very good art direction and animation.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's great looking movie, and although the basic plot outline is very well trod and works on and like relies on some bullshit.
Much bullshit.
Bullshit, story tropes. I feel that given, what it was, the execution was really good. And I felt it was pretty funny, despite the fact that it starred Adam Sandler. Like, every once in a while, Adam Sandler will do something, I'm like, maybe he's not so bad. And then he'll continue to do everything else he does, and I'm like, oh, no, those are flukes. So this is one of those flukes. He is solid in this movie.
I mean, I felt that his.
No, I think
I
think Adam Sandler gives the worst performance out of any character.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I did not like his performance at all. His accent wasn't even consistent. Like, I didn't even know what he was doing half the time. It was just a bunch of blah blah blah. Like, really, that's all it was.
Like he says, like, oh, the joke is that, like, oh, I never say that. Adam Sandler, you're doing the vampire voice where people say that, though. Like, you're doing that. Like, could you not have just produced this movie and got someone who could do even, like, a D+ grade Bela Lugosi? Could you not have just
get the guy from the Count Chocula commercials to do it?
Yeah.
It was very inconsistent, but it did make me laugh from time to time. At first, I was really discouraged because it took like an hour, but I did laugh.
We should have used this. We should have used this as a good seg. The only good running gag in this was Huiwi.
Yeah, though my favorite bit was with the Wolfman when they were in bed, and just his eyes. And all of his kids going crazy around him, and he's just not moving, and that stare
brilliant,
of death.
beautiful, wonderful, talented Steve Buscemi.
Well, he didn't have any lines in that scene.
But every time he did, it was really great. He was great in this.
Mm-hmm.
He's great because he's great in everything.
He's great in everything. Has he ever accidentally been in something shitty?
I mean, I'm not gonna say he hasn't been in shitty things, but he's never the shitty part.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
I really like Steve Buscemi.
I think
who doesn't? He's great.
So for those of you,
he's the pug of people.
He sure is.
and he plays a dog in this. It's perfect.
So for those,
and the wolf puppies are adorable.
They are. So for those of you not aware of the plot of this movie, or this movie at all,
if they're not aware of the plot, then that means they didn't read what the title was. Then they don't know what we're, because it's the title. That's the movie. It's everything you would ever expect it to be, and not more.
So Dracula has a daughter. She's cute. He loves her.
She's really cute.
He's scared of people. People suck. He builds a hotel.
People who suck.
Safe place. No humans are allowed, and invites all his friends to come and be safe there. And that's like 118 years of this until the
It's like a veiled metaphor for Happy Madison Productions. He just like built this place that he could invite all his friends where no one else would bother him, and he can do what he wanted.
It's very true. Yeah. I mean, it's like every Adam Sandler movie.
Even Kevin James was good in this.
Oh yeah, he was good in this as Frankenstein. Yeah. Fire bad.
Well, like in every Adam Sandler movie, it's very self-indulgent. I mean, Adam Sandler basically is Dracula. Dracula is modeled after him. His wife is basically his real life wife. Like, it's basically just her. It's voiced by her and just looks like her because he can. It's his.
Which is why that portrait looked like that portrait did not look congruous.
No.
That portrait looked like a still from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
So it's his daughter's 118th birthday, and he invites all of his friends, but his daughter wants to leave the castle because she's never gotten to go outside, of course.
Yeah, Disney Renaissance stuff.
And he doesn't want her to because it's dangerous. So he kind of fakes her out with this fake village, has his zombies pretend to attack her. She doesn't want to go outside anymore. Everything's great, but all the commotion causes some dumbass human fucking tourist yuppie man to notice and then discover the castle. And then it's this whole plot of, like, nobody can know he's not a monster, but also the daughter seems to like him.
Nobody can know he's not a monster, so we'll put him in monster face.
Yeah. But, like, when they fell, like, that moment when it happened, like, that spark where they fell in love, it looked like a thing happened. Like, they looked at each other and their eyeballs did a thing, and I was like, was that a vampire power? Is that a real thing? What? But then it was never explained, so I went, I guess they just wanted to give us a visual metaphor, because Lord knows they didn't actually do anything that would indicate that they've started a relationship.
It's just the spark.
The Zing is what the movie calls it a bunch, starting in the third act.
Oh, I forgot it on purpose.
Oh, yeah, you forgot about that?
No, I did. I can't forget about it because they did a whole rap song about it. And in that moment, I did two things during that rap song at the very end. I did two things. One, I barfed when Adam Sandler started rapping, and two, I went, "Oh wait, that's Andy Samberg."
Oh,
I took you that long
because I did. Because I haven't seen his, like, work. I only know about him from his raps. And so I heard him start to rap, and I was like, oh, that's Andy Samberg.
See, that scene started, and I apologized to my mother. It's basically the first thing I did, like, I'm sorry.
And I hate how they foreshadowed it. I hate how that was foreshadowed. When his friends were like, oh, come on, Drac, sing for us. Oh, I haven't done that in forever. It's like, yeah, so I guess Dracula invented rap music.
Like,
which sounds really cool out of the context of this film.
Because the other plot going on is that Dracula is, like, on top of being overprotective of his daughter, is also, like, not hip and with it. And through this kid learns to loosen up and have fun.
He's pretty, like, his life, he's a monster. His life is monsters. That's, like, you can't, like, you can do whatever you want. If you're a cool monsterman, then you're automatically doing something interesting. You can't be boring and also a Dracula.
Well, that's what they were trying to convince us was the case.
It didn't work. I thought this hotel was really cool.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, why are they playing bad pop music? That's not cool.
Oh, boy.
No.
But yeah, these, like, a central pillar that this movie relies on a lot is the whole love at first sight trope, which they call the Zing, as a way to make it feel like it's, like, a real thing and not a bullshit thing that I guess Shakespeare made up, or maybe the Greeks.
Probably. That sounds like, because that's the perfect excuse to indiscriminately fuck people. That's absolutely the Greeks' MO.
Yeah. Yeah,
The ancient Greeks, before you accuse me of anything.
Man, that trope is it's the worst.
It's so boring and dumb.
It's psychotic.
Like, the mom is dead, right? And she leaves behind an heirloom for her daughter. And the only thing she talks to her daughter about, of all the things about being a woman, about being a vampire, about going through life and the struggles that you face, she's like, no, the most important thing is that if you have this thing with the dude, it's only happens once, so make sure you marry him right away.
Oh my god.
That's the shittiest present. Because if she didn't have it, but, like, say she had a boyfriend, it's like, nope, mom says this is a bunch of bullshit, so I guess, according to my dead mom, we have to break up.
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
So this film was actually in development for a long time. It started in 2006, and at that time, Anthony Stachy and Davefleischer were set to direct the film. Then in 2008, Jill Colton took over directing. And then later in 2010, it was switched to a guy named Chris Jenkins with Todd Wilderman. And then finally, in 2011, Tartakovsky, our pal Gandhi, took over as the 6th scheduled director. And he basically made this movie happen. You know, he took all of his experience from TV and applied it to filmmaking. And
That's even more impressive.
And
here's the thing. Most movies that go through, like, 2 directors.
Like 3 directors.
Yeah, 2 or 3 directors become a train wreck. This went through 6 and is very watchable.
Yeah, this is a coherent, like, fine, whatever film. Like, this is, like, oh my god, he must have just... I don't know, he's amazing. He's brilliant. If I could...
Well, here it is. In less than a year, he rewrote the script with the help of Sandler's, quote, camp multiple notes, and reimagined the film to follow the energy, organicity, and exaggeration of 2D animation, particularly Tex Avery, which has always been a big inspiration for him. So in less than a year, this dude took this project that had been in production for like 5 years and made it a thing that everybody could actually make. Like, I think he said that, like, when he went in, there was already, like, models and stuff made, and he had to, like, go through and, like, say, like, no, this doesn't work. No. And this was coming from a guy who admitted, like, openly from the beginning that he only did the movie because he needed to make some money after Symbiotic Titan got canceled.
Damn.
Absolutely. In every bad thing I can and will say about this movie, I'll never, ever, ever say anything about anything that Gandhi did for this film. Because every single thing that he had direct influence over is a work of fucking art.
Yeah. I mean,
if I could just watch the audioless animatic of this with like no voice acting or anything, just like the storyboard, just the boards, the animatic. If I can just give me that, and then it'll be like 15 times better.
Yeah, because like he really mastered translating like that very energetic, crazy 2D animation to 3D. Like, it's so elastic.
Yeah, it's the fundamentals. It's the fundamentals of animation, and it's universal, and anybody who's like, oh, a CG movie's like, how come you don't make 2D movies, blah, 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 suck a fuck.
You see, like,
suck a fuck, it's the same.
A lot of 3D movies that come out of, like, some whack-ass studio nobody's ever heard of, and are, like, not funded by Disney, they tend to look kind of stiff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so does bad 2D animation.
True.
Yeah. I guess it's more egregious for 3D, and that probably has something to do with, like, perspective.
It's because it's perceived. It's because it's perceived. Yeah. It's like, oh, it's technology. It's the future. It's the now. And like, then you see something bad made with it, and you're like, well, I thought it was supposed to be objectively great. This is bullshit. No, it's just a medium. It's just a tool. It's just a thing. You have to know what you're doing in order to make something good with it. It doesn't just make it better. It has no bearing on the quality. Yeah. People are dumb.
And I think one of the reasons why this film was so successful among audiences, and kids in particular, was because of Tartakovsky's animation of the characters. He really pushed their emotions and their expressions, and he made them funny. He made them make funny movements.
Every shot of this film, like I looked, because Lord knows I wasn't listening. It's made with such like there's so much cinematography. There's so much like every single thing, every single character, like the way they're placed, the way it's shot, the way it's angled, like it all matters. Everything's important. Everything is set up like perfectly. You can tell that this was just like yes, I need the scene to be exactly like this or it doesn't work.
And it's very quick. You know, sometimes it was almost a little too quick for me to follow. Like I was having trouble absorbing everything that was happening, especially in the lobby scenes where there's all
I was
going to
say
happening.
In the lobby.
Oh yeah,
I mean that's like a lot of different crowd scenes. Like that all that shit in the lobby probably where most of the budget went.
Yeah. But then it made it really funny when things slowed down, in particular one of my favorite scenes, which was the bingo scene. Because it was such a halt from everything else. And just the old lady voice times 2. So quiet. I don't know, it was just, I felt it really worked.
I also liked the old lady who ate things.
Yeah, the gremlin. Yeah.
Yes. I didn't do that.
I didn't do that. Another thing that changed during the production was that Miley Cyrus was going to voice Mavis.
Oh, yeah.
And then but then later she left. And she was replaced by Selena Gomez, appropriately enough.
That would have been weird.
That's a Disney Channel joke if you didn't get that.
I did.
I'm glad you liked it, Nikki.
Oh, man. She did a fine job. And there wasn't that much to do with the character.
Oh my god, she was so boring. I mean, I know a lot of people really like Mavis, and I think a lot of that is just her design.
She's very cute.
Very cute.
Yeah, no, she... Yeah, I feel like with movies or properties like this, where it's like... I feel like sometimes, like, micro fandoms will always spring up that I see just because of, like, a character or a concept has a lot of potential, and then they just assume or go in, like, some kind of denial that the potential was somehow met.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, it wasn't. She didn't do anything in this film. This film starred Adam Dracula.
Yeah, she's, like, super important to this film, but, like, she doesn't do anything, and all she does is basically follow what the script tells her to do. Like, she has... like, no agency, like, at all.
No.
At all. And it's really appalling, you know. And, like, even to, like, the end of the movie, where they have that, you know, the cute 2D animation end credit sequence and all of our favorite characters came back, she was the only one not in it.
No, she was in it, but just as a bat, carrying Sandberg.
Well...
yeah, so, yeah, that's not much.
Yeah, it's like, she's supposed to be, like, this really important character, right? Like, it's supposed to be... I don't know. You know, we follow her as a cute vampire baby, however that works. I don't know how that works. And she's just kind of there, and she does what she's supposed to do. She has her I want more, and then listens to her dad a lot, and then meets some boy, and listens to him, and, like, that's it. Listens to her dead mom with her dumb book. Like... I don't know.
Waited 18 years for that shit? It's like 6 pages!
I know!
118 years!
Oh yeah, I forgot.
So...
You know, speaking of, like, the occasional disconnect with the visual humor versus the spoken humor, like, that goof on the plane with, like, the Twilight parody, visually, hysterical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those caricatures were very funny.
They were very funny, but,
That
like,
was really good.
Sandler's line was, like, very easy. It was very broad, and then it wasn't great. But, like,
Yeah, that was a
a
trailer.
funny
That was in the
drawing.
trailer.
Oh, of course it was. But fuck, that was a funny drawing.
It was a funny drawing. I like the lens flare. That was my favorite part. The humor's kind of all over the place. I mean, they're
Some of
trying
it was
to
really
appeal
funny.
to as much as they can, I think.
Well, because you said, like Gendy, because Gendy, like, wrote his own version of the script and then just used Sandler's notes because he's the one
With the
in
money.
charge of this shitty thing. So it's probably like, oh, okay, here's a really good script, and Sandler just points at it and goes like, make Frankenstein
I
fart!
was gonna say... Oh, you know what was the fucking weirdest joke, though?
What?
The one in the very beginning with the sponge?
Yes!
What the hell was
What?
that?
That was like a weird joke from a weird episode of Adventure Time.
I don't
Like, I tweeted
I
about
don't
that.
understand. Like, okay, the sponge, it gets put in the
He
pee.
craves urine?
I don't.
Is he a dirty pee-pee boy?
Why?
Why is the sponge a dirty pee-pee boy?
One, why is the sponge alive? One, why is the sponge alive? Is it a sponge monster? Two, why would you use a living being to clean up, to, like, soak up urine? Three, why does it love it?
And it loves it in such a weird way, and I'm just like, I don't.
And, like, they didn't even, like, okay, they could have used it for, like, other things, like, oh, maybe he just super likes, I don't know, all liquid, like, maybe it's cleaning up something else, but no, it's only ever with the
Yeah, they could have done like a rule of
child's pee.
They could have done like a rule of 3 thing, like he cleans up some water, he cleans up some milk, and then he cleans up some urine, and that would have like that would have been just as dumb.
I don't want to.
I mean,
That would have taken longer of this weird sponge.
You know, what a lot of these jokes reminded me of was, like, you know, I'm taking my animation history class, and, like, Davefleischer, the brother of Max, was pretty infamous for just, like, wanting to put in jokes where they didn't make sense and were just kind of pad out the scene in really weird ways. And sometimes it worked, but a lot of times the animators were like, what the hell are you... No, I'm not going to suddenly jump cut to 2 flies who are now, like, having some marital drama when I was making a cartoon about Betty. Like, what are you doing, you know? And there was a lot of jokes like that where just kind of sort of cut to something really out there and random. So it did really feel like you had different people throwing jokes in.
I feel like it's context. If this film were, like, super great, that would be a really interesting moment, but because this film's not so great, I'm just like, why? Shut up.
I do not think there's any movie where that sponge would be interesting. It would just be like a weird moment that no one would want to talk about.
Yeah, it's weird, but it's like how you handle the weird moment. Because it's like if that was an adventure, like Nikki said, like it seems like it felt like something out of Adventure Time. So it's like clearly there's context to where this would
but like
fit
not an
slightly
especially
more.
good episode of Adventure Time.
And it wouldn't be
No,
P.
but like
It might still be
it might
P.
still be P. We're 7 seasons deep. It might be
Adventure Time's
P.
weird.
Oh, God. But yeah, like, there's adult jokes thrown in, there's fart jokes and pee jokes, and...
They'll go bat poop.
Yeah,
I hated that line. I hated that line.
And then, you know, very fast, like the, Invisible Man swim trunk one.
Why is he wearing them?
Well, so they could make the joke about shrinkage.
There's like I felt like, is it just me or was there like 5 jokes about Invisible Man's dick?
There was a lot of jokes about how he was
Specifically
naked.
about his dick.
I watched the movie today. I think there was just the one about his tiny invisible dick.
And
that everybody
then-
laughed at, despite the fact that, like, in every other scene they couldn't see. What a mess.
And it's not like he wears clothes anyway, so he's always naked. I mean,
I felt
there was
like-
one
'cause,
scene
like-
where he patted his butt with powder.
Yeah.
That was nothing.
Yeah.
That was just he put powder on his butt and you could kind of see his butt. That was
And then,
it.
like,
For what? Like, why would you powder your butt?
You doing some kind of butt gymnastics?
Does he have grundle chafing? Is that a thing that happens?
I don't know. David Spade might.
And then, you know, his introduction with the butt pinch thing.
Also, he's not really a monster. He's just a really bad scientist.
Yeah.
He's not a monster. Well, he's got more credit to call himself a monster than Quasimodo.
I was gonna
You're
bring
just
that up.
French.
That was-
You're just an ugly Frenchman.
It's like you didn't even watch Hunchback of Notre Dame. The whole point is that he wasn't a monster, asshole.
I mean, in the book, he was a little bit more...
Oh, because Adam Sandler read the original Hunchback of Notre Dame.
No, he just wanted to make fun of French people. Particularly French chefs who, like, the whole running joke of, like, oh, the...
I didn't even consider that because no one's made a French chef joke since, like, Ratatouille, and they never even really made jokes about that.
Well, that's basically what he does this whole movie.
I didn't even
At least
think of
Esmeralda
that.
is... I don't know. It's a rat. Nikki, you like rats.
He was cute.
It was cute. I don't know what to say. Who haven't we talked about? Mummy? Murray? Is that his name?
I think it was more played by CeeLo Green, who was just, like, filling out some space.
Yeah. I mean, I liked his design. I liked when he moved. It was very satisfying watching
he was
a
like a-
fat
He looked
mummy.
like Oogie Boogie.
Yeah, he was like a lumpy lump of dump, instead of, like, your normal gangly-ass mummy.
He kind of had an...
He was an Oogie Boogie.
Yeah, I was going to say, he had an Oogie Boogie-ness about him that was kind of fun to see move around.
And I love the extreme chunkiness of Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
I love
first
his
fire
wife.
bat... The first fire bad joke was really good.
Was that the one where he whispered it?
Yeah. His shrill-ass wife, played by the queen of shrill, Fran Drescher.
And,
Oh, was that Franz?
yeah,
Oh,
all the
good.
That was
jokes she
Fran.
made was
Good.
about how her voice was annoying. Like, oh, those humans are so gross and they're bad and they're so loud.
At this point, I feel like that's what's paying Franz Drescher's bills is making fun of her own voice.
I mean, yeah, she's just one of those people who, like, all they have left is to make fun of themselves, like Shatner. Like, Shatner's...
Oh yeah.
I mean, he has embraced that role.
Yep. Then you had the shrunken head character, the sassy black lady, basically in the form of a shrunken head. Okay. Mr. Fly was pretty funny. He was played by Chris Parnell.
That's who that was. I
yeah,
knew
I thought that was
recognized
who
it,
that
but
was.
I just don't care enough to look it up.
I mean, I watched that far into the credits. I always do. Were you just so mad at the rap toots that you just turned it off?
I was...
No, like I was mad at that I didn't pay attention to the credits except for the cute cartoon credit part of it.
I mean, I always look for voices.
Like visual, like I want to like rewatch this movie on mute.
Yeah.
I'll put on some of Bim Bam.
Like, I saw a deleted scene that Sony Animation's YouTube channel uploaded of when Dracula and his wife met, and I was at work, so I couldn't actually listen to it, so it was kind of neat to just see it and not hear it.
Here's the thing. You can the plot is simplistic enough. You're going to have no problem.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
I wonder.
Just do that with the second
if
one.
we watched it in another language with no subtitles.
Let's do that. At MagFest, let's get it in Russian and learn some Russian.
Oh my god.
Or like when the second one comes out, that's how you should watch it.
Maybe.
Based on this conversation, I think I definitely like this movie the most out of the three of us. So like,
Yeah.
I'll get the second one out of Redbox next year. I'll do that.
I was just like, the whole movie, I was like, why? And that ending, oh my god. Not just the rap song. That was bad.
Why did they auto-tune CeeLo Green? He has a good voice.
I don't know.
That sucks.
Because that's how they think rap music works. That's what's hip with the kids.
But the fucking scene in the village, and I know that was supposed to be like heartwarming and shit.
Yeah, that was like...
I thought that it was gonna like black out and be like, oh, did I dream all of this? Like, it didn't seem real.
It was so weird.
Even within the context of this movie.
Because there's so many implications. Like, one, okay, they live in a world where simultaneously all the media surrounding them does exist as if it were all just, like, made-up stories like the people think, but two, they still all know these are real beings that exist.
It's like they were convinced very quickly.
But the guy doesn't, but Mavis's boyfriend doesn't, so do they just... So that's even worse, because then they immediately accept their existence.
Yeah, like they didn't know going in that monsters were real, and then they learn it within the span of like 4 minutes, and are like, oh, cool. I guess we'll
This is awesome.
Here,
like,
no
no questions.
No
like, not like, where have you guys been? What's the deal? Like, how... we'll help you get to the aeropuerto. What? My favorite thing is like, can't you fly? Can't you go there? Well, I guess they did do that. Like, you're wearing the hat. Just wear the hat as a bat.
Just cosplay Marceline.
Put on a big cool hat and some cool pants. Look, man.
It was so stupid.
You're not as cool as Marceline. Get out of here. They would just turn on him because he's not Marceline.
Yeah.
Though I did like the joke where the guy wanted proof, and it was the very quick, like, hypnotize him, make him hit himself in the face, and like, I'm convinced. Go on,
Yeah, some great...
Can there just be a spoof episode of Adventure Time where Hunson Abadir opens a hotel?
Oh my god.
This would be such a weird thing to parody in something that's kind of timeless, like Adventure Time.
Yeah.
Because this film isn't timeless.
That would make it even better.
At all.
Just spoof the dumbest thing, but it's still good because it's a good show.
Oh. But yeah, I couldn't. I was, oh my god. So with the capes, so dumb.
Like, I still don't know why we were doing this episode. Like, you said, like, hey, let's do Hotel Transylvania, and I was like, I mean, okay, but I thought we didn't do bad things.
I'm sorry. I mean, people want us to talk about it.
No, like, I'm not faulting
We
you.
were
like,
going to
I
talk
don't
about
care.
something
I'm just
better,
curious.
but, like, we didn't have time.
Look, there's good stuff in this movie. Like Tooch said, like, I think some of the humor works if you're willing to slog through a lot of stuff that doesn't.
Oh, yeah, no.
And if you can put up with a cheesy-ass plot that you've seen 35,000 times, there's some great visual animation, some jokes that really work. You watch it once.
If this didn't star Adam Sandler and his amazing friends, it would be like 5 times better. Like, that's the only difference.
Yeah.
But keep Buscemi.
Like, I mean, I even like some of the jokes of Jonathan's, like, crazy adventures, like how he almost got eaten at a Slipknot concert.
Yeah, that was a good joke.
Like, weird things
That
like
was
that
good.
were really great.
Like, when that happened, I was like, that joke's too good for this movie.
So, I haven't article here about the future of this franchise. We know that there's a sequel out already. None of us have seen it. It's about Maven and John's kid and, kind of a rehash of the same thing, only with their child. But Tartakovsky came out and said that he won't return for the third movie and that 2 is enough. Despite the movie doing amazingly well, he said that Hotel Transylvania 3 is going to happen without me. 2 is enough. I have a lot of other ideas, and I kind of have to express them and have them come out. So
Kind of.
I
kind of have to have a career I'm not ashamed of. I kind of have to be a real artist, you guys.
He wants to focus on
Can't
other...
believe they canceled Popeye on him.
Yeah, but now he's focusing on the Can You Imagine? I guess that's the working title since they canceled Popeye. I am curious to see what a non-Gandhi Hotel Transylvania film.
Yeah, not curious enough to watch it unless it's like Lord and Miller.
What if? I wouldn't be surprised at this point. They're doing everything. They're doing a fucking serial TV series based on the podcast.
What?
What?
Yeah, but it's more. Yeah, but it's not going to be an adaptation of the murder story because that would be gross because it's a real thing that happened. They're doing it based on the production of making the podcast.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I read that because I linked it to you guys.
Hey,
you're right. This is weird. We can't talk about it on the show, but this is weird.
Yes, we did.
And here we are talking about it. Whoops, I'm fired.
In the interest of, do you guys have any other points you want to bring up? Because I see no need to drag this out further than we need to.
I ran out of shit 10 minutes ago.
I'm happy Halloween.
Gendy, we love you.
No, yeah, okay.
We do.
Let's
really
get on to recaps.
I had no other point.